So in this episode, I'm talking about the difference between sustainable weight loss and fast results. And I do show a couple of pictures, and I'm talking about two different cakes. One's a mug cake, and then the other one is a sheet cake from a grocery store with like the beautiful decorations and the icing. And if you want to see what I'm actually showing, I will put the link to the video in the show notes for you. And also, just know that I'm outside. This is one of those lives that I did, and so there's a lot of background noise, and I apologize for that in advance. All right, let's go. Welcome to the Overweighted Podcast, where we get real about the struggles of being obese and needing to lose a whole lot of weight. My name's Malaika. I'm your host, weight loss mentor and coach. Join me on my personal weight loss journey to lose about 200 pounds, and as I share my very real experiences, plus some simple, successful, and sustainable weight loss tips and mindset shifts so that we can mark lose weight off of our to-do list for good. What's going on? My name's Malaika Burley. I am a weight loss mentor and transformational coach. And today we are going to talk about weight loss and cake. Yes, cake. All right, but before I do that, if you haven't already, then go to malaikaburley.com/5keys, and that's the digit 5, and grab my 5 keys for simple, successful, and sustainable weight loss. That is a free video for you. And if you want to lose weight like in a really simple way and actually keep it off long term, then you want to make sure you grab that video. So that's malaikaburley.com/5keys to get access to that video. So for those of you that haven't met me before, my name's Malaika Burley. I'm a weight loss mentor and transformational coach, and I help women who have a significant amount of weight to lose. And if that's you, then what I do is help you lose the weight you gain and then gain the you that you lost. All right, so let's talk about cake and weight loss. All right, I want to show you a picture. And so let's pretend that this is two different ads. Okay, let's pretend these are two different ads. They're side by side on here. And I apologize, it's going to be backwards because I'm using my front camera. But let's say this is two different ads, right? Which one of these ads would be more appealing to you and why? And be honest, right? So this ad over here says, I lost 20 pounds in 1 month. And then this ad over here says, I lost 4 pounds in 1 month. So if you saw these two ads, which of these two ads are you more likely to click on? Are you more likely to click on the one that said I lost 20 pounds in a month, or the one that says I lost 4 pounds in 1 month? And if you saw the title of this is why it's called Why I Sell Sustainable Weight Loss Instead of Fast Results. So you already know I'm probably about to come for you, depending on which picture you picked, right? But that's okay. That's all right. Because who wouldn't want to lose 20 pounds in 1 month, right? Like, we all wish we could lose it faster. But let's talk about cake. So let's say you want a piece of cake, okay? And you have two options to get this piece of cake. So let me know which one of these you would choose. So this is your first option of cake. So your first option is going to be this Duncan Hines, and no knock on Duncan Hines, okay? But Duncan Hines mug cake. It's the chocolate lovers flavor of cake, and you can make this. It took me 1 minute and 10 seconds to make this cake. So if you want cake, you can have this mug cake in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Okay, super fast results. You get the cake, you want a cake, you got your cake, right? You get that cake. And so let's see, I even have icing. I'm gonna put my icing on my cake because I want cake, and no fair, that cake doesn't have icing, so I want to put my icing on this cake. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that too. So let me put my icing on my cake. Super fast, quick results. If you don't care really about what kind of cake, if you don't care maybe about the quality or the flavor of the cake, and you just want cake and you just want to satisfy that craving, then get your mug cake. All right, so let me I can't even get it all out, but all right, so I'm gonna like cover my cake a little bit with my icing. Okay, so I got my cake. All right, I wanted cake, I got it. It was fast, it'll get the job done. But you know what? It's small. It's not gonna last really long if I'm having this cake. But let's look at the other option. The other option is you can have this cake. Oh baby, you can have this cake. All right, so when you're looking at the two options, which cake are you probably going to choose? If you could have either one right now, piece of cake, and I apologize for those of you that struggle with the sweet tooth, and I'm talking about weight loss, and I'm showing you cake, all right? But you can have this cake in a minute and 10 seconds, or I can slice you up a piece of this cake, all right? So I would guess that most people are going to choose this particular cake, all right? Now, if you look back to that picture that I showed you, give me one sec. So if we go back here to the pictures and the different ads and which ad's more appealing to you, most people will probably choose this one, that I lost 20 pounds in 1 month, as opposed to 4 pounds, right? But this over here, that's your mug cake, okay? This is going to be that big, delicious looking Publix cake. And let me tell you the difference between the two. And this is why I sell sustainable weight loss. So that Publix cake is going to be representing your sustainable weight loss, as opposed to your quick, fast results and those programs that are like, yes, I want to help you lose like 20 pounds in 1 month, or I want to help you get like ripped abs in 6 weeks. Whatever the programs are, that is mug cake, right? Yeah, most people are going to choose that 20 pounds picture because we want to lose it fast. But the difference is, so when you do those fast results or those fast programs, and that could also represent diets, fads, when you're trying to take pills or powders or drinks or whatever to help you lose weight, that's your mug cake. And you're going to get results, and I'm not saying you won't get results with those things. You will get results. Most of the times people do lose weight. The average, like, as far as like people are really good at sticking with those programs and staying motivated for that short amount of time. So whether it's 6 weeks or whatever. And so it's a lot easier to stick with those types of programs that are like 6 weeks to rip abs or 4 weeks to lose 20 pounds or whatever it is. But what happens when the program is over? When those programs are over, because again, they are quick and they don't tend to last very long. And most of the people, they found like usually about 95% of the people, once those programs are over, they regress. So they go back to old habits, they regain the weight back, right? Because you're figuring out what needs to be done in this short amount of time to lose weight fast, but you never really build up the habits that it takes to have a long-term success and to keep the weight off. So what happens after those programs are over? Most people are going to gain the weight back because they fall back into their old habits, right? And so I focus on the real cake and sustainable weight loss, because if you think about it, with this real cake, this is going to take time to make, right? This is going to take a lot more time to make this cake. This was only 1 minute and 10 seconds. This is going to take more time. It's going to take more skill to make this cake. And you may have even had to learn a new skill to be able to make this cake if you made the cake, right? It's going to take multiple ingredients and flavors, and they all have to kind of work together. It's going to take time to produce this cake versus what it took to make this one, for you to make this one. But you know what? It's going to taste way better. It's going to be more satisfying. And you're going to feel like you actually accomplished something by making this cake versus making this cake. Okay? So the funny thing is that when you bake this particular cake, you actually become better through the process of baking this cake. Whereas this one, you didn't have to do anything and you didn't have to become better. So you just had to follow the process between the 1 minute and 10 seconds to produce your cake. But this cake, when you're making this, you're going to become a better person because you're learning new skills. And you may have even, like, look at the work for the icing that had to be done here. That takes skill and time to be able to do that. So you may have had to learn and develop new skills. And just like with sustainable weight loss, you're going to have to learn new skills. You're going to have to develop and build healthy habits. And it will take time, but in the end, you will have more satisfying results, and the results will last, right? So I sell sustainable weight loss coaching because I want to help you become a better person. I want to help build up the person that's capable of making change and capable of having long-term results. Yes, I wish that you could lose the weight really fast, right? But in reality, it's going to take consistency and it's going to take time, and you're going to have to develop new skills and new habits and then build those habits over time in order for you just to have a healthy lifestyle in general. And by having that healthy lifestyle, you're going to get the weight loss results. It's just going to take a little bit longer. But the plus side of that, like I said, is that you're actually going to keep the weight off, right? You're not going to have to worry about gaining it back after that 6-week program or whatever that program was. So I want to help you, like I said, build up the person that is learning these healthy habits and doing these things, like you're learning to grocery shop, learning to maybe cook new things, and not just giving you some meal plan and telling you to follow the meal plan. Like, I don't do meal plans in my coaching. I will give you a guide, but again, that's just a guide to kind of help you have a starting point, and then we work with it from there. But one of the big things with me in my weight loss journey, and then what I want others to learn, is how to eat what you want and still be able to lose weight, right? So I don't want to give you a plan, I'm not going to give you a plan that's going to be cutting out food groups or anything like that. I want you to be able to learn how to work those things into your life and still lose weight. I want you to learn how to eat mindfully, so you're not just like sitting in front of the computer or in front of the TV and just eating, because that alone, it will be one of the reasons we gain weight, because we're not paying attention to what and how much we're eating, and we're not following our hunger cues and realizing when we're full. So, and I want you to learn how to make exercise just a regular part of what you do in a week, right? Just have it as a regular habit, not as something that's going to seem like torture, or that you have to do like this boot camp program to lose X amount of weight in a short amount of time. I just want exercise to be just something that's a part of your daily life and that can fit into your busy schedule. So changing eating and your exercise habits, that is going to be a hard and slow process, right? That is going to be this cake. It's going to be a slow and harder process than just doing those quick programs or fads or diets, right, to get that quick result. And you're fighting against habits that you probably had for years. So that's why it's not easy to change your habits. That's why it can be hard to get started, because you're fighting against these things that you probably have done for years, right? But that's also why it's good to slowly build up the habits and do these things like one by one, and have the habits stack on top of each other, because you're going to have resistance naturally, okay? You need to know how to deal with those times when that resistance comes up, maybe when the holidays come up, when life gets busy in particular. And if you're doing like fad diets and programs, or like, you know, those 6 weeks to ripped abs or whatever the programs are, if you're doing those types of things and you're getting that mug cake, if you're doing that for those fast results, well, what happens when things get busier at work? What happens when the holidays comes up, you're not going to know how to deal with those challenges because you haven't built the habits to be able to learn how to adjust when those different seasons come up. And that's what sustainable coaching is all about, right? So let me check my notes. All right. And one of the big things too is like, you are going to learn how to have this healthy lifestyle throughout all of the changes that will happen like in these different seasons of your life. And then you're also going to have the support and accountability during those times. So when you're doing fad diets or you're doing diet programs or, you know, like the challenges that only come up for a certain amount of time. And like I said, I'm not knocking those things because they do work, but if you want sustainable results, if you want to keep the weight off, that's where you need to start doing something different. But once those things are over, then you no longer have the accountability and the support. And with the sustainable coaching, you will still have that. You'll have the accountability and support to help you work through those different seasons. And typically, like, I would like to coach for an entire 12 months so we can hit those different seasons throughout a year. Right now I'm offering coaching in 3-month blocks at a time, unless I have some type of group coaching program that will be a shorter amount of time. But that is one of the big reasons that I sell sustainable coaching as opposed to some of the quick, you know, fast results types of coaching that you may see some trainers offer, because I want to make sure you have the tools to help you navigate through any type of season, and also because I want you to just have a healthy lifestyle in general. So I want you to be able to build those healthy habits so that it's a lifestyle change, not just something you're doing to lose weight, but something that's just going to help you overall for your entire life, because there are longer term benefits than besides just losing the weight. So if you're tired of the quick fixes to lose weight, and if you're tired of that cycle of losing weight and gaining and losing weight and gaining, and you are ready to become the better version of yourself, right, and really start adopting a healthy lifestyle, then you can come see me for coaching or join the tribe, malaikaburley.com/tribe. There is accountability and support, and then I do ongoing like weight loss tips within that. So those are a couple options if you want to work with me. All right, you guys have an awesome day, and I hope that helped to illustrate the difference for you between the fast results versus the sustainable coaching. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you got any value out of this or something just really resonated with you, can you do me a favor and leave a review? It helps others find the show so that it could help them too. Also, I'd love to connect with you on other platforms. I'm Malaika Burley on IG and YouTube. And go grab my free webinar, The 5 Keys to Simple, Successful, and Sustainable Weight Loss at malaikaburley.com. And of course, all of those links are in the show notes. Thanks again and have a blessed day.